Hello and welcome back to the Noob Gardening. So we did some bulbs in pots yesterday, and well, I think it's such a lovely day. Let's get out in the garden and plant some more. So I've got some daffs here, like 1.5 kilos of it. Got them really cheap from a place that, well, they don't sponsor me, so I'm going to call it Gnome Face. So first, select your spot. So I've got a northeast or northwest facing slope here, so I want somewhere that's going to get a bit of light. It can be partial shade, but I'm thinking this area here will look really nice. And if I just have a quick wander around here, I've got a bed that I cleared out of weeds that I think also we could enjoy a bit of spring colour. So you want to plant in either full sun or partial shade, and basically it gives you a lovely little bit of nice flowers early in the season when spring comes along and everything's warming up and you start getting excited again about your garden. This can be, you know, a really nice motivator to see those daffs spring out of the ground. My dad's favourite poem is about daffs, by William Wordsworth. Anyway, I'm going to start off in this bed first. So what do you need? So obviously you need some bulbs, you need a trowel. Don't bother getting some kind of expensive specialist trowel. You can get ones for bulb planting that are a little bit thinner, but I mean, we're not talking about doing Wisley Gardens here or Kew Gardens, so just get yourself a normal trowel and a little bit of multi-purpose compost. And basically you're doing the same thing as we did with the pot. So you make a hole, you want it about, so for these, probably about 10-15 centimeters deep, and then you just want to prop your bulb in. Remember, pointy end facing up. Don't want to plant them upside down, otherwise they're just not going to grow. And then yeah, cover it up with a little bit of compost, smooth it over and wait for spring. Right then, well, the eagle-eyed viewers amongst us may have noticed that the first ones I did with the trowel, and then I got the old spade out. Well, why'd I do that? Basically, ivy is a bit of a two-way beast for me. I quite like it underneath trees and things like that, just to provide a little bit of ground cover where other things don't really like to grow. But those roots can really penetrate the ground, and so I put my trowel in and basically came against a load of weeds or a load of roots. So if you also noticed, I laid out the bulbs before I put them in. Reason for that is just to kind of pictualize how it will look. And if you see, I put them in clumps. That's just to give that kind of really nice naturalized look. You don't kind of want one bulb on its own. I mean, minimalists might say it's nice and, you know, minimalist, but you know, you put a few, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all together in a little clump, and it just means when they kind of come out, you get these lovely little natural clumps of daffs. So I've got one more bit to do. I'm going to do it like I did the last one. So basically, get yourself a spade, create a bigger hole, still the same depth, so you still want it kind of 10-15 centimeters deep from the top of the bulb. Create the whole area rather than just a single bulb depth. Lay your bulbs in the ground, put the compost on, cover it up. Now you can, if you live in really heavy soil areas, now I'm not going to get technical into types of loam, etc, but basically if you dig your spade into the ground, you end up like some kind of Looney Tune buzzing around like this. That probably means you're in a heavy soil area and you got compacted soil, and basically bulbs like a lot of drainage. So again, a bit like with the pots, you can put a little bit of little stones in there, some little kind of gravel, just mix it up, have that kind of same mix, and your bulbs will love you for it. In this part of the garden, the actual water drains pretty well because it's kind of raised up, etc. So it's also full of stones already, so I'm not going to bother doing that here. But yeah, if you live in a really heavy soil area, or things don't drain easily, or if you get a lot of standing water when it rains, chuck a bit of gravel in there. Anyway, I'm going to do this last one, and then we're done for this part of the garden. Right then, so all done. Got some lovely yellow bulbs in the ground. They're all going to come up soon, well soon, spring, and that's going to make a lovely spring bit of colour, and otherwise a brown bit of garden. So remember your depths. Remember, make it sure the soil is drained. If you're only planting, make a cluster them all together. Now I've planted just yellow ones here, but if you've got different colours, again, mix them up, especially in borders like that, make them all natural. So anyway, hope you learned something, and like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.